Hi, welcome to a new video on building a strategy on Tradetron. In this video, I will cover one logic on how to build your strategy in such a way that it is able to take a re-entry only if your last trade was profitable. So I will show you a method of how to do it. You can always modify this method and use it for a different case scenario where you're checking if the last trade was a loss-making trade. You can also do this on a strategy level or on a trade level. So let's get straight into it. In order to first achieve your re-entry logic, I will first go to the entry condition. So you can see I'm in the entry condition and I currently have a simple entry condition if RSI is more than 70. Now I will first want to determine if if the strategy is taking its first trade of the day or is it a re-entry trade. In order to first determine if it was a re-entry or a first entry, I will use a keyword which is our favorite keyword called position detail. So position detail will be able to figure out if it was the first entry or not. So I'll use entry and I will since I am using a option strategy, I'll select call. So in my set one I'm trading call, so I'm just selecting call quantity and I'm selecting number of Nifty 50. So if my entry of the call is equal to 0 is equal to number 0, this means that it is the first entry of the day. In this case, I don't want anything else to be checked. Now I will add one more group, and the second group will check if my position detail is not equal to 0. So this basically checks if it is the first entry of the day or not. Now my second objective is to check was my last trade profitable or not. So in order to check that, I can use a condition called traded instrument, and by selecting traded instrument, I'll select the condition type. So I want to check the entry condition, and I want to check the PNL, and I want to check the underlying of Nifty 50 and set 1 condition 1 leg 1. Now based on what set condition and leg you add, it will check the PNL of that particular instrument. So let's assume if I want a trade only if the last trade was profitable. In that case, I can add a simple condition as traded instrument is greater than number 0. This means that only if the PNL is more than 0, which means if there's a positive PNL, that means there is a profit. In that case, there will be a re-entry that will be triggered. Now let's assume if I want the opposite, that I don't want a re-entry in case of a profit. I can directly select this thing. So now my condition is opposite. So in case the PNL is negative or it's a loss-making trade, in that case only then my strategy will be allowed to take a re-entry. Otherwise, it will be not allowed to take a re-entry. What if I want this re-entry not to be based on the last trade, but to be based on the overall PNL? So if my strategy on an overall basis, all the trades taken, if on an overall basis it is profitable, only then I want to allow the next entry. So in that case, I will use another keyword called PNL. So I'll use PNL is greater than number 0. So this will be able to signify if my PNL is more than 0, which means I have a profit. In that case, a re-entry will be triggered. And in case of a loss, a re-entry will not be allowed because my PNL will be maybe in something like minus 100 or 500 or 1000 and so on. And because of which this entire condition block will be false and this condition block will also be false. So by this simple method, you can allow your strategy to take re-entries subjectively when you want it based on the PNL of the last trade or based on the PNL of your entire strategy as a whole. I hope this video helped you. If you have more suggestions, you can drop it down in the comments and we will make sure that we will take it up in the next coming videos. Thank you.